Hey, what's up, beautiful people? It's your boy, Spiritual Bodybuilder, here for an energy report for the first half of September and the full moon here in September. It's been a while since I've been on here, but I've been feeling called to come back out here and give you guys the deets on all what's happening. Got a lot of, new, bigger things in the process of awakening and coming out to really create this new earth that we're all stepping into. But I hope you guys are doing well. And please, if you resonate with this information, like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. So let's get into the energy for September and this full moon that's going to be happening at 17 degrees of Pisces. Now, 17 degrees of Pisces is coming pretty close to Neptune, and that Neptune conjunction to the full moon essentially is really going to be shining a light on the patterns of our behavior that are no longer serving us. Up until that point, for the first half of the month, we have a lot of yacht activity going on. All these quincunxes, this energy like around us, something ain't right. I don't know what I'm feeling. I don't know what's going on, but it's something's got to. It feels like something's got to give, right? Something's got to move through us, but it's like the more something's trying to move through us, the more difficult, or the more that part of us that wants to figure it out, hang on, and know what's going on is sort of attaching or latching on. So it's going to be very important to allow ourselves to be vulnerable and step into the unknown, because of course this Uranus conjunct North Node. Now Uranus is retrograde, remember. It just turned retrograde, so energy is very strong, and it's still just 3 degrees away from the North Node. We're still going into this unknown timeline. We're literally creating our future. And not only that, but we're coming into a very powerful and transformational and transitional time for this next 6 months, with Mars going into its shadow period on September 3rd. But from the 1st to the 15th, essentially, it's Yod City going on, man. We have multiple Yods happening all over the place. And another aspect I'm looking at here is if we go to September 1st, we start off the month with the Yod, and the point of the lesson of the Yod is at Venus, 25 degrees of Leo. It's quincunx over to Pluto. Of course, Pluto is sextile over to Neptune. This is, again, with Venus in Leo. Venus loves being in Leo, right? Because Leo is all about the heart. Now, this is bringing up the awareness of where's our ego getting in the way and where's our heart want to go, right? Because the ego is the mind, the heart is what Venus is trying to get to. So we feel like we're trying to get to this place in our heart, but there's some feeling within us that's needing us to break down, to break through, and clear shit out. So, once Venus goes into Virgo on the 5th of September, that is, Venus is in detriment. So this is like a last push about how we receive and how we want to receive, what we want to have in our lives, what we want to feel. Once Venus goes into Virgo, it's going to be a little bit more of a lesson, a learning lesson. I know there's a lot of learning lessons going on right now, guys, but hang in there, because doing this work right now, everybody's sort of the universe saying, look, you want to do the work? Let's go. If you don't want to do the work, it's going to really hit you in the face, like big time right now. And also too, for a while, we're going to be having Chiron, which is retrograde, quincunx over to the South Node. And it just so happens that September 1st, we have the moon conjunct the South Node, which is opposed to Uranus, along with this Yod going on. So emotionally, we're seeing what we have to let go of and what our deep wound is. So maybe it's a relationship from the past that, you were in a relationship with a narcissist, and like you're having to see and really embody the lesson from what you're supposed to learn from that dysfunctional relationship and let it go. All this energy right now, and for the rest of the year really, is about letting go of the past, allowing the past to be the past, and stepping into this new life, this new design really of what we're creating in our future. Saturn in the third decan of Aquarius, this is kind of like a collective Saturn return. So anybody that's going on has your Saturn return going on right now. It's there's some extra oomph right there for you, but everyone, a Saturn return really fundamentally means a life review. Everybody's doing a life review right now as we move into this, and with the Sun in Virgo, okay, we're looking at cleansing, purifying, clearing out all the garbage, all the crap. So if you're feeling like this nudge, like I got to clean my car, or I got to clean my house, or I need things to be organized, and it's going to start bothering you a little bit more. So really honor that. And so if I know I've been seeing that, big opportunities, things are coming into my life. And as they're coming in, I'm like, okay, I need to clear this out in order to make room, make way for this energy to come in to present itself so that I can work with it more efficiently. All right. So we're coming into Mars retro shadow, and Mars is going to go retrograde, at the end of October. October and November are going to be crazy, crazy months because, that's where the eclipse seasons are. But we're going to get into that later. But for now, when Mars goes into shadow, we want to pay attention to whatever is going on in our life, because those are starting themes that are going to be playing themselves out for the next, 6 months or so. All right. So pay attention to that. And as we, of course, also, we already have Mercury that's in shadow. Mercury will be going retrograde on the same day as the full moon, which is very, very powerful. All right. A full moon in Pisces with Mercury retrograding 8 degrees of Libra. It's almost opposite. It's pretty much exactly opposite to Jupiter, almost opposite to Chiron. And when we have that kind of energy going on there, it's really pronounced. This is all about relationships, okay? Mercury going retrograde on top of all the rest of the retrogrades going on. This is retrograde city, guys. This means that we're all going within and doing a lot of restructuring, reorganizing, reprioritizing, really looking at, and filtering out what we don't want, what we do want as we come into this next year. Next year is really going to be when this next chapter fully manifests itself into our lives. Okay. So we're doing a lot of deep inner work right now. And I know all you guys watching this probably like, fuck, I've been doing inner work. Like, come on, like, give me a break. But our heart has to open up more. We're being prepared. The divine is showing us where we need to clear out. Like, you can't take this with you to get to this place that you want to be, right? But we have to accept the place that we're at in order to get to the next place. So it feels reverse, right? It may feel a little, frustrating, and a little like backwards, that we need to really go within ourselves and slow ourselves down. September may be a month. It feels like you're doing all this stuff and nothing's really happening. It's because we need to slow down, cross our T's, dot our I's. Things from the past may be coming up to be able to be dealt with so that we can clean it and clear it out to move forward. All right. Now, on the 3rd, Mars goes into shadow, and on the 5th, Venus enters Virgo. So we're gonna probably feel that shift when Venus enters Virgo. Of course, it's coming out of that yod with Pluto. So look at how you're receiving and feel into it. Of course, as you can see here too, on the 5th, when Venus goes in to Virgo, we have another yod showing itself between the South Node sextile to the Sun, which is beautiful, but they're both quincunx to Chiron. Now, Chiron is already quincunx over the South Node, so sextiling the Sun, this is kind of taking that quincunx and shining a light on. Boom. All right. Who am I? All right. Who do I want to be? Where do I want to go with who I want to be? What do I want to create? This is really giving us an opportunity to see the deeper and bigger vision of what we want to create in our life, but also seeing like the amount of work or the depth of the feelingness of the work that we have to dig into to get there. All right. So, yods like this for the collective, it's just boom, 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 boom. The stuff is just bringing stuff up to be let go. So this is a time of surrender. This is a time of needing to have patience with self, having faith, and allowing the universe to guide us. And in order to do that, we have to let go of our idea of where things are going. So if you're, a lot of changes are going on in home and families and relationships and business, all over the place, right? So wherever you're at, say you're in a dark place right now, you're having some trouble, some frustrations, you're going through some things that are like bringing up all these different, avenues where you feel blocked. Be humble. Stay in your heart. Don't fight. You cannot get through the conflict internally or externally with conflict internally or externally, right? So if you're having a conflict within yourself, go for a walk. Do something that's going to shift your state, right? Clear your mind, provided that it's not a bad habit, right? If it's something that's not good for you, then that's going to be detrimental because that's escapism. And that's what the full moon, really close to Neptune, is going to shine a light on, to be cleared out. Okay. We cannot be escaping. We need to go into our heart more to express it and allow things to unfold And the more we allow ourselves to trust and move into that, the better we're going to feel. Okay. This is a deep feeling time. All right. With Uranus conjunct the North Node here, I mean, it's starting to get wider, but we're still going to be feeling it for the next few degrees. So plan on the next couple months of feeling that kind of confusing, but I have faith, but oh, what the hell is this? But now what do I do here? The more that we can be in the moment, all right. Say you get a huge opportunity, but then when you get there and you have to present yourself in a certain way, you have all that fear come up, you get nervous, do your deep breathing, do like it's the inner work now that you've been doing in the past that's paying off. And of course, with Venus in Virgo, it's going to feel like we need to structure something somehow in order to be able to take it or receive it. And this is going to be dependent upon your level of self-worth and self-confidence, okay, which is Uranus and North Node in Taurus. It's challenging, or it's measuring your self-worth, your self-confidence too, what you want to create. And I've been talking to a lot of people, especially recently, that have been coming to me looking to microdose psychedelics, which I'm going to make another video on that as well. And also that these very divine people, places, situations, and things are orchestrating themselves into our lives. A lot of light workers are being activated and really born, I kind of feel like. Even if you don't feel like you're a light worker per se, you may be, connecting with good people that want to do good things in the world. There's a lot of people coming together, right, to create this new earth and this new world. So go into these unknown experiences, right? Follow those intuitive nudges that, you feel before maybe, a year or two ago, you might as well blown it off. That's nothing. That's just, that's just my mind, playing tricks. No, it's these intuitive nudges that are giving you the guidance to really get to where you really want to go. Now, your mind might think that you want to be somewhere because you gotta, based on the lack mentality, I gotta pay rent, I gotta put food on the table, and with all this inflammation, right? Mars does represent inflammation. Okay, so inflammation of thoughts, inflammation of issues, or cognitive dissonance. I'm really feeling. And of course, out in the world, we're going to see inflammation of stories, of lies, of narratives that, people are trying to get other people to see and believe. Cut that shit out. Okay. Don't even pay attention to that stuff. If you can, just focus on you and your reality. Basically right now, and for this next 6 months, we are in the place that is setting the foundation for this next 20 to 30 year cycle. Okay. So we need to be doing the work now. The universe, God, whatever you want to call it, is guiding us and showing us what we need, and it's showing us what we don't need, or why what we're doing isn't working. But we can't be in that place where our mind is going a million miles a second. We got to slow it down. With all this retrograde energy, there's going to be a lot of mental mind fucky going on, okay? Especially when Mercury goes retrograde here on the 10th, all right, at 8 degrees of Libra, and it's going to retrograde back into Virgo. So this is all about relationships, okay? Like seeing how we're doing in relationships. We're all learning a new way to be in relationships. So we have to honor these things within us. Like if we're feeling something but we don't want to feel it, why is it there, right? Where is the dissonance? What are we not honoring in our heart? And what are we trying to convince ourselves of in our mind that is leading us, astray, really? All right. But we have Saturn and Pluto that are going to be going direct in October. And then on October 31st, we have Mars going retrograde. So that shift in energy, like September is going to be like we're sitting in. So say we go into something, we have a very difficult conversation, which Mercury, retrograde in Libra, probably some difficult conversations are going to come up, all right? Especially opposed Jupiter. This is like, hey, we have to look at this. This is who I am. This is what I'm realizing about myself. So let's talk about it. And in the most loving and respectful way possible, of course. Watch out for getting triggered. Whatever triggers are coming up are your teachers, like I always say. The rest of it, just chuck it in the fuck it bucket, man. I always say one of my other favorite sayings is an attitude of gratitude is my longitude and latitude, right? And and I've been having to remind myself of that a lot lately, because I want to be bigger, better, faster, stronger, more than I've been. But we all feel like that to a certain extent, don't we? So allow this stuff to flow. And September may feel like, all right, you have this difficult conversation, And then the result is now you see it, but now you got to sit in it for a while. It's like there's a bit of a stasis going on. All right, because it really has to sink in like deeply. There's a lot of past life lessons going on here, and that feeling that fuck, I gotta get out of here. I don't want to be in this position that I'm in. All those kind of things. Like, well, too bad. You're in this position for a reason, and you need to fully learn the lesson before you can move through it. Before you can move on, right? So allow this, to guide, to teach, to grow. And then when Mercury comes back into Virgo, that's like the purification of the thought. That's clearing it out. So this is really going to teach us in a big way to let go, to allow. Again, watch out for escapism, watch out for distractions. And there's a lot of possible distractions out there. So, are you going to be a creator of your reality? Are you going to be a producer of your world or a consumer of other people's world? This is the real, foundation or core part of what the universe is looking to. Being a consumer fundamentally is out of fear, right? Because you're looking to other places, other people, other things, for answers to what's already within you. If you're a producer, then you're sitting back, you're cutting all the external noise out, and you're thinking, what do I want to get out there? What do I want to be? What do I want to present? And don't worry about the feedback or the reciprocity. Just do what you feel is right for you, and do it one day at a time. As you see, you'll move through all these feelings and all these sensations in your body and your mind and experiences that are going to show you. And once Mars goes retrograde, that's going to be, last year, right around the same time, Venus went retrograde for 40 days and 40 nights. That was the cleansing of the divine feminine. Now, we all have divine masculine and divine feminine energies, despite what the mainstream people might always push and say. It's very important to understand these energies and how they operate. Okay, so divine feminine represents how we receive, how we nurture ourselves, and the outside world is a reflection of how we nurture ourselves. So if we're really hard on ourselves and beat ourselves up a lot, chances are in our relationships, they're going to be complaining, you're always fucking being mean, you're always being hard, I'm never good enough, never this, blah, 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 right? That's a reflection for you that you are being like that to yourself. You got to cut that shit out, man. All right. Mars going retrograde. How do I want to go out into the world? How do I want to be perceived? How do I want to be seen? The structuring of our lives, how we penetrate the world, right? And in Gemini, I'm sorry, this is going to be all about, like how we talk to people, how we connect to people. Like it's going to be very cerebral, very fast, like, impulsive, like ideas and thoughts. And we're going to have to be grounded to be able to really navigate these mental mazes that we kind of create in ourselves, and be able to be in flow state the best we can while we navigate these feelings. Because like, say you're there's going to be meeting a lot of new people, and getting around these new people are going to remind you of past experiences or past things. Like, okay, I'm not going to make that mistake again, right? I'm going to do it this different this way. Or you're going to feel something come up. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. What am I feeling? What it may, like, say, you tried something in the past and it didn't work, right? And now you have an opportunity to try something that kind of looks or gives you the same feeling as that thing in the past did. But now you're like, okay, I see it. You can't be afraid to go into it. You have to have the knowing that you're worthy of going into this new chapter. Like, okay, how am I going to do this different, right? I'm not going to be triggered the same way. I'm not going to react or respond in the same way. I'm going to honor myself, and I'm going to honor what's going on. And of course, with Mars sesquiquadrate over to Pluto, this is getting deep in there in the foundation of our being, of who we are and who we want to be. This is a lot of past life lessons and stuff showing up. We also have Mercury that's going to be sesquiquadrate to Vesta, and in Aquarius, this is like connecting with community and relationships out there in the world. The third decan of Aquarius, with Saturn there, this is like learning how to restructure and figure out a new way of living communally, right? There's a whole new community-based living philosophy and ideology, and people creating new ecosystems. We see like Aubrey Marcus, doing his thing with, shining the light on, all these things, talking to people that are thought leaders in the world about consciousness, about plant medicines, about living in harmony and love and creation together. This is where we're all going. In order to be able to vibrate the same frequency with these kind of people, we have to be in that frequency and vibration ourselves, right? So everyone has a gift. I believe, you know, being an astrologer, I can see it in everybody's chart. We all have the potential to face ourselves deep enough to activate that gift. We all have it within us. And right now, I believe everyone is being asked to step into that gift, right? Because that gift is what's going to change and shift humanity as a whole. All right. So have the courage to step into that gift and face your fear, face your shit, man. This is the work that, you know, like a lot there's been waves of light workers. I was the wave that woke up around 2012. My first real awakening experience was when I was in Iraq in 2010. Then 2012, 2013 came around, and that's when things got really deep. That's when I started working with, you know, ayahuasca and combo, and, you know, started taking some deep dives into myself and realizing how to really be healthy. Now I focus, because I've, you know, cleaned my soul, really. Now I help other people understand how to be healthy in that way too, which is my divine life purpose, and that's what I'm doing for humanity myself, creating the butterfly factory, which I'll give you guys more on that later. September 12th, okay, we got two yachts going on. This is right after the full moon. Actually, let's go back to the 10th here. So the 10th, this let's change this time so we can see when it's exact. All right, so 17, that's 17 degrees. Okay, so right here, you know, Jupiter is now back to 5 degrees. Jupiter's now moving, which is good. We have Saturn that's quincunx over to the sun. Ugh, that's like maybe like the foundation that you're trying to set, you know, like with community, with your relationships, with your life fundamentally, is like something's wrong, something's off. I need to purify, I need to clean, I need to clear. I'm not really sure what to do, especially with this Mercury sets a quadrate here over to Vesta. But you know, we do have the moon, the south node trine the moon and sextile the sun, which is nice. With that, so that means the north node is also sextile the moon and trine the sun. So with the nodes, we're being shown where destiny is calling us to. All right, but it's like destiny is calling us, but we're seeing that we're going to only see the next step. You have to walk into that next step in faith, because you see and you understand that going in that next step is going to open up a whole new can of worms that's going to have us look at ourselves from all these different angles again. But this is necessary to come into this next place of discovering who we are, discovering our self-confidence, self-worth, and stepping into our power to really own our lives. And, you know, all the light workers and people that are coming together, we're really going to start evolving and shifting coming into next year once Mars goes direct. Okay, so so sit in that. The first 2 weeks of September, this is a lot of shadow work, a lot of deep, intense working on the self. When we come up to, that's our day. So the 12th, let's see, we have a yod going from Mars sextile Chiron. Of course, that's a good sign, but they're both quincunx to the south node. This is letting go of the divine masculine toxicity that's embedded in our identity of like, who am I? And the moon is conjunct Chiron. There's going to be, so this full moon is going to last a while, and it's going to sort of shift right into this energy, which we're all going to feel it, man. All right. And the other yod is going from let's see, Saturn quincunx to the sun, and the sun quincunx over to Chiron. Yay! So a whole lot of Chiron energy, a whole lot of like deep, dark, you know, shadow aspects that are going to be coming up. You know, actually, is that a third yod right there? Almost like 2.5 yods, and they're all going to Chiron. All right, Chiron being at 15 degrees, the exact halfway point between Aries. This is saying, who am I? Right? Who am I, and who do I want to be? What story am I creating, or what stories am I creating about relationships, about my physical health, about my mental health, right? I'll tell you right now, mental health is going to turn into a huge, huge issue here in the coming years. And this is something that I'm personally preparing myself to help as many people as I can, especially with veterans. You know, me being a veteran, you know, I understand personally, especially being in combat. So helping combat veterans and families of veterans is a very big passion of mine, but also anybody that's doing the work and wants to know, I'm here for you. And you know, we're doing this work together, so let's make it happen. Okay, so get the shadow work done, make it happen. Be kind to yourself. All right, part of shadow work is like, say something happens and it has a result that you don't really like, or you wish it went a different way. Don't beat yourself up, man. Part of the shadow work is being kind to yourself, right? So if you do something and you're feeling, I should have done better, I could have said this, I could have, should have, would have, and that's all. Like, one extreme is like too much action or too much inaction, right? The other side is, afterwards, do you beat yourself up? Do you allow yourself to be okay? You know, because all these feelings coming up, sometimes we react and we don't realize, like, why did I say that? Why did I do that? What's going on, right? So be easy on yourself, but also don't be a victim. There's a lot of victim consciousness out there. And I think a lot of this victim consciousness is being called out. And victim consciousness, especially right now, is going to get you nowhere. Okay. It's going to get you trapped in a system that is designed to keep you unhealthy, depressed, you know, lack of abundance, and just in fear all the time. And nobody wants to live like that. Okay. But not everybody's willing to do the work. But the more people that do the work, the more, you know, I do the work with someone else, that other person goes out in the world and shares that vibration with people, and then they feel better, and then they, hey, what are you doing? That, you know, and it's a ripple effect. And there's a lot of ripple effects going on right now, and there's a lot of ways that we can really do this. Okay. There's so many avenues of approach that we can all make it happen. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, share, comment below. Let me know what you're feeling and where you're at in life. And if you'd like a reading from me, message me on the comments here, or just go to my Instagram, spiritual_bodybuilder, message me there, and we'll work one-on-one to get you taken care of. Right. I love you all very much. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you soon.